Hello, this is Trigger Happy 112, and today I've got a quick Comet replay for you. Now as the battle starts, we can see on the minimap that everyone's moving in the same direction. I realised this in the game too, and thought, well I better defend the other flank, so I turn around. My friendly French artillery has also noticed it too, and has pinged the map. So I'm heading back here to defend against whatever tanks will come around. Now the Comet is a pretty nice tank in my opinion. It has three things going for it. It's got a nice quick firing gun, it's got a reasonable frontal turret, and it's also got that nice engine and speed. And in this replay, we will not be taking advantage of that speed. As you can see, I've come up on top of this hill, which is a pretty strong defensive position, and I'm going to be sitting up here and waiting for the enemy tanks to come over the hill. Now, with me, I have a T-67 and a KV-1. And the French artillery is asking me if I do intend to camp here, and yes I do. I feel it's better for them to come across this open field in front of me than it is for me to fight on that corner, since there's only, well, now there's only two of us. That KV-1's got better things to do. I say pretty much as much in chat that I would prefer to have them come across the field. As you can see, the rest of my team is pushing pretty well, which is what you would hope since they have the majority of the tanks with them now. That's the problem with this kind of thing, when the team splits this unevenly. Even if you do defend, there's no guarantee the rest of your team will realise how many of the tanks they have, and sometimes they just won't push, regardless of all the advantages they have. So I'm just expecting the enemy tanks to roll around this corner pretty soon, so I'm hoping that myself and the T-67 will be enough. And here's the first enemy tank. KV-1, start firing shots, taking advantage of the quick reload. He looks like he's had enough. I've accidentally taken out his tracks and firing a few more shots. Now we've got the T-29 in the background there, and he definitely sees me. So I pull back, and I'll stay pulled back for a little bit longer until I go unspotted. I'm also expecting artillery to come down. And there it is. So now that the artillery's gone, I can fire a few more shots, and I take a shot in return from the T-29. So far, we've actually managed to hold up two of the enemy's top tier tanks, the T-29 and the T-34-100. Their other highest tier tank, the Jagdpanther, is somewhere on the map, I assume on the other flank, and yep, there he is, he's just appeared on the mini-map. So myself and this little T-67 are managing to hold off quite a few tanks, and you'll note that our push has been quite successful. We have a large advantage in tanks. So as this T-29 pokes again, I'm trying to hit the commander's cupola on top of the turret, and he bounces off my turret, but I'm not having much luck. This tank, its gun is reasonably accurate, but I wouldn't say it's good at sniping. Our artillery is helping me out as well, which is nice, and you'll also note that our Cromwell B and the Nashorn have come around behind him, so I feel like now is a good time to start moving up. The game is pretty much won, so I'll just see how much more damage I can do. So as I come down this hill, T-67 is going to be backing me up from back here, which is nice, and French artillery back there as well. So as I push around this corner here, we take out another enemy tank, and I fire on the back of him, which is nice. You've got to take out as many guns as possible, as quickly as possible, that way you have less firing back at you. I'm having a little bit of an issue getting through this T-29. I always forget how tough the armor is on the front and the sides. So I've loaded a round of premium in the hope of going through the armor. And of course all it does is hit the track. As I come in to close the distance and try and flank, I see that the T-34-100 is on very low health, so I take him out so that I can now allow my allied tanks to come around and help me out. This T-29 is now the last tank on the enemy team, so I figure I can just flank around. Doesn't really matter anymore, we're definitely going to win. So I can just get a little bit of damage and kind of just dance around his slower turret. Still not having a huge amount of luck getting through his armor every single time, but he has no trouble getting through my armor. But in the end, this is going to be a win. Just remember that you don't have to push just because you're in a tank that is very good at pushing. Sometimes you do just need to stay and defend. So, thank you for watching, and no matter what game you're playing, good luck and have fun.